Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy November. Oh my goodness, it's November. That's it's been a quick year so far. Hope you're having an excellent Friday. Thanks so much for joining us. Just a couple things going on this week. So this will be a fairly short coffee with the principal, but as always, we'll share updates and take your questions if you've got any. And yeah, let's jump right in. We are back on Zoom this week. So just as a reminder, you've joined the meeting muted. Feel free to use the chat box as needed. We're recording it so we can post it to our YouTube channel when we're done. Yeah, that's it. All right. What is this? Oh, okay. So I shared this. Well, last Friday, we had our first Coffee with the Principal live and in person at the Playa Vista Library. Thank you for those of you who attended. I didn't stream it on Zoom because I wanted people to come in person. We're going to do it again in later in November. And we're playing around with the time and the day of the week on that so we can get more families to attend. But one of the things that I shared with the group last Friday was something called tutor.com. And I'm going to share a brief video on that with all of you right here. And I think this is recording, so you'll get it too. Here we go.
Did you know that LAUSD offers free one-on-one tutoring for all students?
Yes, tutoring is available 24/7 for every LAUSD student at no cost.
We can access homework help, writing support, and concept review on demand in 3 easy steps.
Log into Schoology,
Choose one of your courses and scroll to tutor.com on the left.
And connect with an expert tutor.
Help is available in a wide range of subjects, such as math, science, social studies, and AP courses, and much more.
Tutoring is for everyone.
está disponible en inglés y español, así que participa.
I'm participating.
We are too.
Now it's your turn.
So tutor.com launched, I don't know, earlier this year, but we finally got access to it at Katherine Johnson STEM Academy. And this is an amazing resource for every single one of our students. And you have access to it when students get home, on the weekends, over holidays. So this is a really important tool that all students can use for free whenever they need it. Good recommendations that I'd recommend are, number one, if there's a student who is struggling in a particular course, like math or like science or something, that can be a helpful way to do that. These folks also offer paper reviews. So if students are assigned like an essay that they have to write or a persuasive essay, they can submit a draft to tutor.com and a tutor will review that, give them feedback before they submit it. A really powerful tool. And then it's another way to engage, say, over a long holiday break. Say, for example, upcoming, we have Thanksgiving break that's coming up in just over 2 weeks. So it can be something for them to keep their minds going over a longer break. All right. Oh, I'm gonna do that again. Let's see. So again, that's one part of our strategy here at Katherine Johnson STEM Academy to lead different groups of students in really powering forward their learning and everything they do. So a couple of things that we do, just to give you an overview, we do have a tier 1 school-wide support. So tutor.com, which is available to all of our kids 24 hours a day, 7 days a week via Chromebook. We ask that they not schedule tutoring sessions during school hours. We want them to not be on tutor.com during those times, but we want them engaging in their classrooms with their teachers. But after schools, on weekends, vacations, great time to do that. Our tier 2 group of students we are supporting are students that we've identified from early in the year assessments as needing some additional support in ELA or in mathematics. And so on Mondays, after school from 4 to 5, Mr. Kendrick is leading some tutoring in person in his classroom after school from 4 to 5. And then on Wednesdays, Miss Alejandre, who's our history teacher, but also is very well versed in the ELA standards. She is leading ELA tutoring in her classroom after school. We have reached out to specific families regarding participating in both of those tier tutoring, but we will not turn away students who show up to that. So if you didn't have your child reach out, or if you didn't receive an invitation to come, you can still come to that if you'd like. And then the third thing is this, and this is really, you know, our most intensive support for kiddos, for students who came to us this year who may have been really struggling because of effects of the pandemic, or just a pattern of not having really achieved well in ELA or in mathematics. We're actually going to focus specifically on mathematics. And then once a week, we have an LMU tutor who's going to come to the school during the day while kids are here, and do small group pullout sessions of 3 to 5 students to specifically work with them on some foundational math skills and concepts. And we're doing that during the school day in an elective class, so we're not pulling them out of like math or science or English or history or PE, just out of an elective class, so that we can make sure that they're getting that support while they're here at school. Yeah, so if you have any questions about that, don't hesitate to reach out to me or to any member of our team. The school experience survey is now open, and this happens every single year and takes place on the part of students, faculty, staff, and families. And we encourage everyone, and we want everyone's feedback because it helps us get better, and it helps the district know how the district is doing. Typically, we have very high student participation rates because we make them do it while they're here at school, and we have high staff participation rates. But secondary schools typically only get about 25% family participation rates. So we're actually going to bribe your kids with this. So please, as a family member, take the school experience survey, bit.ly/LUSD survey 22. When you get to the end of the survey, there's 2 things that'll happen. One is it's going to ask you for your email. And if you put in your email, it'll send you a confirmation email that says, thank you for participating. It does not tie your email to your responses. Those are separate, but it sends you a confirmation email to your email account. If you do that, forward that to me here at the school, or forward that to our main office, and we will keep track of that. And kids whose families let us know that they took the survey and verify that, we'll give those kids a free dress pass sometime in the month of December. I think that was the second part of that. Yeah. All right. One of the things that is going to happen before we go off for Thanksgiving break is we're going to be distributing rapid antigen tests as well. So currently we don't have weekly testing. We don't have weekly PCR testing. We don't do weekly rapid antigen testing, but we're going to be distributing rapid antigen tests to students before they leave for the Thanksgiving break. And we encourage and strongly recommend that the students take an antigen test like the day before they come back in December. So we come back from Thanksgiving break on November 28th. Which is a Monday. We'd recommend that on the 27th, Sunday, they just take a quick rapid antigen test and make sure they're still negative for COVID. If it's negative, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to upload it. You can just throw it out and then come to school on Monday. If it's positive, then we do ask you to have your child isolated home, upload that result to the Daily Pass. We've had a couple of student cases this year, and what usually happens is the parents just call us and say, hey, my kid tested positive for COVID. What do we do? And we say, you know, isolate for 5 days, but also take a photograph of the positive test, upload that to the Daily Pass, and then you're good to go. All right. One of the things that I shared last week with families in person, but I'll share with you now, is that there's been a growing problem of opioid overdoses in communities across the country. And unfortunately, specifically, that was highlighted a couple of months ago at Bernstein High School, where a student actually overdosed and died while on the campus. of that high school. And so immediately following that, LAUSD made a commitment to provide doses of Naloxone, which is the generic name, of Narcan, which is the brand name, of the antidote for overdose usage. So every school's got some. I've got our doses of that here. These are one of the things that I never ever want to ever have to use. But if there's ever a need for that, we do have that here at the school. But again, knowing is, remember those old commercials, the more you know, and that's absolutely true. And so part of this is education. This week we went into classrooms and asked teachers to share a 6-minute video with their students on some of the dangers of fentanyl specifically and opioid overdosing. So we sent this out via Blackboard. I'll put the link is right there on the screen, but it's also in the chat as well. I really encourage you to also have that conversation with your kids. Sometimes a young person may overdose, and unfortunately it's been a pattern, and that happens, and it's tragic. Sometimes it's not been a pattern, and it's a complete surprise, and it was a kid that you never thought had trouble with, or you thought it was a kid who would always just say no, but in reality that they did take something. So it's really important, even if you know your kid, and I know you know your kids. So please take the time to have that conversation with them, because this can be a very, very life-saving piece of knowledge of the importance of this. All right, coming to the end, like I said, not too long this morning. So next Friday, there is no coffee with the principal, because next Friday is November 11th, and we celebrate and honor Veterans Day, and there's no school on November 11th. So next week is a 4-day week. The following week, we are lined up to do another in-person coffee with the principal. I'm saying the date and the time is TBD on this one, because I've reached out to the library about making an adjustment to that date, so we can get some more parents who are able to make it and not have it conflict with working hours. So there's no one time that's going to work for everybody, but we'll give it a shot. So stay tuned for that, and yeah, that will be happening the week after next. That is it for me. Like I said, not a whole lot today, but just some reminders as we move forward. And I will, continue to commit to doing these weekly on Zoom, and then once a month in person. Yeah, we'll do that. So what questions might either of you have for me this morning? I joked with Mrs. Hunsberger when I was leaving home this morning. I said, I will tell my families this morning to have a great long weekend. And when they look at me and say, do we have a day off Monday? I'll say, no, we have an extra hour of sleep on Saturday night. So don't forget to turn your clocks back 1 hour on Saturday evening, and enjoy that extra hour of the weekend. And with that said, have a great weekend, everyone. And I won't see you next Friday, but I'll see you the week after that, hopefully in person, or it will be in person, and we'll let you know what the date and time of that will be. All right, have a great day. Bye-bye.